Welcome to the first episode of The Process. I started putting together a list of songs that I want to release as a full-length album, and I asked people what they might be interested in, and they wanted both written descriptions, maybe digging into the theology of the songs that I'm writing, but also some video showing the process going from start to finish, from songwriting all the way through recording and publishing. And so that's what this playlist is all about. What you're listening to in the background here is actually the original voice memo that I made back in 2019, May of 2019, for the song, Let Your Glory Be Known. Here's a quick look at the humble home studio that I'm working out of. It's actually not that small because it has a drum set and a baby grand piano, as well as a digital piano and my computer desk and a couch. I've also got an ISO Vox in the corner for recording vocals. Just helps get a clean vocal take. While I was recording this, I had probably 3 or 4 takes on both guitars that I'm using. One is just a standard acoustic guitar, and the other is a baritone guitar, so you'll notice some deeper notes with that. I was really frustrated at one point because I thought I had probably the best take ever on the baritone guitar, and when I looked over, I had forgotten to record enable the software. I'm using Pro Tools over there, and so when I looked over, I did not have anything written to the track. And so that's just one of the frustrating things that can happen when you're doing things on your own. You forget to enable something, and you go through part of the process all for nothing. The guitar tracks that you're hearing on this right now, they're probably not going to be the final takes that I use when I go to publish. But I wanted to get something out there to show the process. I wrote the song back in 2019 and actually wrote a blog post about how that song lay dormant for almost 7 years before I looked at it again. And I went through a rewriting process because there were some lyrics that I felt weren't the best lyrics for a corporate worship song. And so if you want to check that out, you can go to TonyLamarca.com. There's a link down in the description as well, going directly to the blog post talking about this song and that rewrite process. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and check that out. Some people will track guitar and vocals at the same time, especially the solo artists that are doing a lot of the instruments themselves. That's one thing that I might try at some point, but I don't think I'm talented enough. I do have to do some work on my vocals. I should probably go through some vocal coaching to sing better, but there are some tricks that I can use to adjust my vocals a little bit, make them sound a little bit better. But to do that, you have to have a really clean take of the vocals. And some will call it cheating. I just call it making it sound like something I'd be willing to listen to. I love to write. That's what this is more about for me, and getting songs out there for people to use in corporate worship. I offer all these songs over to God first, and if He wants to use them beyond our church, awesome. If some songs are just for me and Him, no one else ever gets to hear them. That's the thing about songwriting. Not every song is going to be a song that you share with people. And so if you're a songwriter out there, I encourage you to not give up, If you think that every song you write should be a hit, don't stress about that. Just keep writing, especially if you're writing sacred songs, writing songs for God. Sometimes those songs are meant just for you and Him, to draw closer to Him. Sometimes God's going to make that song stick and never leave you alone, and that might be a sign that it's a song you should share with some other people. That's what this song has been for me. It lay dormant for about 7 years in my voice memos, but when I started listening to it again, it caught my ear more than any of the other songs that I am putting together for this album. And so I did a little bit of rewriting. I invited a friend to write a second verse with me, added a bridge, and that bridge is probably my favorite part of the song. And then we even sang it in church a few weeks ago. And so I'm looking forward to being able to release it for all of you. If you'd like to join me on this journey from songwriting to publishing, consider subscribing.